The most profitable small businesses do 3 things very differently from the rest. Watch this and let me show you exactly what they are. Hey guys, what's going on? Yuri Elkaim here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. We help health professionals and entrepreneurs grow thriving coaching businesses and make a lot more money in the service of other people. So, small business owner, you're thinking to yourself, how do I make more money? How do I increase profit in my business? And I want to share what I've learned to be true over the past 17 years in business now, helping thousands of entrepreneurs in the health space, but also these principles relate to any type of business. So let's dive in. Number 1 is that they build skills. Now, when you start your own business, unless you are venture-backed, which most businesses aren't, at least starting off as a small-based business, you are bootstrapping a lot of this stuff. And what that means is you have to learn how to climb this ladder of skill development. So as an example, when you are starting at zero, you have to learn how to make money. That's the first most important thing you have to do in business. The purpose of business is to generate profit in the service of other people, clients or customers, without you as the owner being involved in every single thing. However, initially, you kind of have to wear all the hats. So that means you have to learn how to do a bunch of stuff. The challenge though is a lot of businesses that struggle, and that sadly is the vast majority of them. I think it's like 95% of businesses don't last beyond 5 years. It's not a very encouraging statistic. But the good news is that if you can understand what successful and profitable businesses do differently, then you can emulate that and have a greater likelihood that you will last a lot longer. So instead of in the early parts of the business journey focusing on your logo and your website and that type of stuff, what you want to be focused on is, what do I have to do today, tomorrow, next week, next month to make money? How do I acquire clients? How do I get customers? How do I get more people coming in and paying me money so that my business can survive initially? It's like you're treading water when you're first starting. So what do we have to do to be good at generating money? Well, there's a number of skills that we have to stack. And again, there could be dozens and dozens and dozens. I want to boil it down to the 4 basic most important skills that you, as the CEO of your business, must build. And these are very important before you even consider delegating these. So number 1 is demand generation. I think most of us as entrepreneurs are very good at promotion. Like, we just naturally want to put ourselves out there. We want to shout how amazing our products and services are from the rooftops. So naturally, we're very good at spreading the message. So demand generation is, how do I build demand for my thing in the marketplace? So that can take all sorts of forms, from paid advertising to content marketing to speaking and all sorts of stuff. But the number 1 skill you have to build initially is being able to generate demand. And with that, under that umbrella, we have to look at things like your messaging. How do you articulate what it is you do in such a way that people you want to serve actually care about listening to you because they feel that you have a solution to their problem? If your messaging sucks, your business is going to suck. So you can't just outsource messaging, and messaging is everything. So learning about how to get better articulating what it is you do, not from your perspective, but in a way that the people you want to serve actually sit up and listen and actually want to do business with you. The second piece of that is looking at your offer. Is, how do we create an offer that is as compelling as possible to those you want to serve? Again, if you have a bad offer, you could have great messaging, but it's still not going to work. And then the third piece of that is, well, now that you have more clarity in your offer and your messaging, how do we just pump this out into the marketplace? Because obscurity is the biggest danger we all face in business. If no one knows you exist, you will not exist. So how do we get around obscurity? Again, the strategy of the how, it can be content marketing, it can be paid ads, etc., and so forth. But the second skill, so we talk about demand generation, the second skill then is obviously to acquire leads. Acquire people who are interested, like raising their hand saying, I'm interested in learning more about this, whether it's watching a webinar, downloading a free report, or anything else. And again, that comes back to whatever medium or channel of acquisition makes the most sense for you. Now, in our business in Healthpreneur, 95% of our business comes from paid traffic. We are very, 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 very good at acquiring clients at a significant profit from Facebook ads. And it's exactly what we help our clients do as well. So we can acquire leads all day long at a profit because we have a predictable system to do that. Now, if you don't know how to acquire leads and you only know how to kind of put stuff out there, then you're kind of spinning your wheels. Then the third piece in terms of skill developments when we're starting out is converting those leads into paying clients or customers. So in the context of a service-based business, the number one skill, and quite honestly, I think this one skill trumps all skills, is the ability to sell, the ability to influence people to action and persuade them to do what it is you want them to do, but that is in their best interest. Because even as you grow your business to millions of dollars, you still have to sell. You still have to, and we'll talk about this as we get a little bit deeper into this video. Selling is the most fundamental skill that we all have to become better at doing. If you're sharing content, you're selling ideas. You're selling an idea of how you do things or how things can be done to, people watching or reading your stuff. So we're always selling, and that skill is massively important. And then obviously the fourth skill that I think is very often overlooked is mastering your metrics. If you don't look at your numbers, and I'm not even talking about like accounting statements like P&Ls and balance sheets, I'm talking about identifying a handful of most important metrics for your business and learning how the different levers in your business model impact those metrics. And then based on the metrics, how you can make adjustments to improve how your business is operating. If you don't know what the most important metrics are, how are you supposed to course correct? Like if you're driving a car and the speedometer is blocked, like you can't see how fast you're going, how are you supposed to slow down or speed up, right? You have no reference points other than other cars driving around you. So it's kind of dangerous. It's the same in business. So like in our case, when we're working with health professionals and growing their coaching businesses, there's a couple of very basic metrics. Cost per lead, cost per call booked, right? Those are two very important things to look at. We looked at lead to call booked ratio. What is your front end ROAS? Like if you don't know what these numbers are, if you don't know what these metrics are, you're like, what are you talking about? These are things you want to consider for your business. So mastering your metrics are very important because as your business grows, you're making decisions based on data, not emotion. Okay? So the number one thing you have to get good at if you want to build a more profitable business is building skills. These skills stack and exponentially become more valuable to you as an entrepreneur and the business as you continue to develop them. So initially we focus on sales and marketing. We grow the business to a minimum $500,000, and a lot of that can be done kind of on your own depending on your price points. So then the second skill we have to develop in order for that to even happen is we have to be able to build great products or services. So if you're offering coaching or consulting, that's obviously gonna be a service-based offer. And I think a lot of people in service-based businesses, well, at least I'll just speak from the health space, come from a position of I truly care about helping people, therefore I wanna go above and beyond and deliver something amazing. I think marketing and sales is a lot cleaner in terms of its simplicity. Do this, do this, do this. With delivery, in terms of creating an amazing experience and result for your clients, you can do anything. It's like a whole new universe of opportunity. The challenge there is that there's no one way of doing things. The opportunity is there's no one way of doing things. So a lot of what I spend my time with my coaching clients around is how do you develop an amazing, what we call a dream come true system, which is where you can create not only a dream come true experience for your clients, but the results that they're looking for, and ideally in as little as time as possible. Because if you can improve the delivery, which is what we're talking about here, in such a way where you can help your clients achieve the outcome they want in less time, that becomes more valuable. And as a result of that, you can charge more for that because most humans would rather have results yesterday than a year from now. So if you find a way to, based on your expertise, based on your continual refinement of your service to help them get there faster, that becomes more valuable to them. And obviously for you, you can charge more and make more money. Here's a little secret. Your price point is the number one lever. The price you charge is the number one lever in your business that will increase your profitability like that. It's a choice how you want to price what it is you offer, but any increase in price from where you are now to where you want it to be, assuming all the deliverables are the same and the cost of acquisition is the same, that difference goes right to your bottom line. That's a massive needle mover. So pricing is very, very important, and you should be able to charge as much as you can possibly charge, but you have to deliver something that produces results for your clients. You have to produce something that wows them. You have to produce something that there's a level of obsession around how do I deliver just an incredible product or service to these individuals who are paying money. There's a lot of different lenses we can put on here, but one of the questions I'd like you to think about is if you're building out, let's say, a coaching program, ask yourself this question. What would have to be true in terms of building out a curriculum, so self-paced trainings that your clients would go through? What would I have to include in this curriculum for it to be so good that my clients would achieve the results that they're paying me to achieve, even if I never spoke with them? It's a good question to ponder, and it's not to say that you're never going to speak with your clients, but it challenges you to really think about what type of content do I include here? And then looking at the content and saying, is this just like stuff? Or really looking through your curriculum and saying, is this mission critical? Or is this just like, is this extra stuff they have to go through? If it's extra stuff, get rid of it, because overwhelm and too much stuff is one of the biggest reasons that slows people down. And if they're going through a do-it-yourself course, it's one of the biggest reasons behind refunds. So you're constantly scrutinizing your delivery, and remember that your delivery is evolving over time. You know, my coaching programs when I first started looked very different than what they look like now, and they'll probably look very different in the future as we continue to refine them and as we continue to work with more and more clients. And it's the same with you, whether it's a product-based business or a service-based business. You get feedback from the marketplace, you look at what's working, what could be better, and you constantly make things better, okay? So when you have an amazing product or service, your delivery, the marketing becomes a whole lot easier. Because there's two sayings, if you will. One is, it's not the best product that wins, it's the best known product that wins. And I do believe that's true initially, right? Because we talked about obscurity. If no one knows who you are, no one's paying you money. But I believe in the long term of your business. In terms of when we're talking like really like staying power, 10, 15, 20 years, it's the best product that wins. So if you're focused only on making money, you're missing the point here. You should be obsessed with the delivery. Once you get past $1 million in revenue, typically, you have to be obsessed with making something so good that people are crazy if they don't share it. And if all of your focus, not all of your focus, but a vast majority of your focus is on that, you'll keep clients longer, they'll pay you more money, they'll refer more of their friends to you. And that is how you build a bulletproof business. And if we think about profitability, going back to the first piece of building skills, we talked about client acquisition. So for instance, if you spend a certain percentage of your revenue in advertising or marketing, the better your delivery becomes, the more referrals you bring into your business, the lower the percentage of that marketing becomes. Let's keep it simple. Let's say you make $1 million in revenue and 10% of your revenue is spent on marketing in terms of advertising, etc. Now, if you went from 1 million to 1.5 million and that $500,000 difference was solely based on referrals, you're now 1.5 million revenue, but because you haven't increased the amount of money you spend in marketing and advertising, percentage-wise, as it relates to your revenue, your percent of marketing and advertising might be 5 to 7% now. So you're much more efficient, and what that means is that instead of spending a couple extra $100,000 to make up $500,000 extra in income, that 500, so from 1 million to 1.5, that's based on referrals, now goes right to your bottom line. That's all profit. And so that's the importance of constantly improving your delivery. So we talked about building skills, and we talked about building an amazing product or service. The third thing that the most profitable small businesses do differently is they build great teams. As I said earlier, you can, again, depending on the type of business, if you run a business with a high ticket coaching offer, you can typically do in the neighborhood of $250,000 to $500,000 in revenue on your own, to be honest. Maybe some part-time assistance. That's very feasible. I've seen people do that. We've had clients do it. However, as soon as you start getting past $500,000 in revenue, you start increasing the load on your business. More clients, more customer support type of stuff, etc. So what does that mean? You have to build a team. You have to bring people in to support you. The bigger the dream, the better the team. I'm not saying the bigger the team, because I would rather work with one amazing A player than 4 mediocre people. Because when you hire great people, you don't need to hire as many people. Because what an A player does, an A player by their very nature is able to produce the level of output or results that 2 or 3 average people could produce. So instead of managing a team of 20 people, you could have a team of 7 or 8 unbelievable people. It's fewer people to manage, right? You're gonna pay them more, but it's worth it, right? In life, we always get what we pay for. And I think when it comes to people, they are the best investment you'll ever make is in building a team. So I would encourage you to really think through, not trying to skimp and save and pay people less than market wage, is hire fewer people, but hire better people, okay? Again, it depends on the nature of your business, but quite honestly, in a coaching type of business, a service type business, it doesn't have to be overly bloated. And again, it depends on how you deliver coaching, if it's one-to-one or one-to-many, but nonetheless, building a great team is a skill. And it goes back to one of the first skills we talked about, which is being able to sell. Because when you are hiring people, you are selling them on this vision. You're basically saying, my vision is bigger than yours. Come work with me, as opposed to doing your own thing or working with someone else. Your ability to sell that person on where it is you're going is going to get them excited because they want to be part of that journey with you. And every part of you as a leader building a team is constantly casting and sharing the vision. It's selling people on here's what we're doing, here's why we're doing it, here's where we're going. I want to remind you, this is the direction we're moving in. Are we all on board? Are we all on the same page? And it's not about being dictatorial, but it's about being able to sell this vision that gets other people so excited that they can't see a world in which they would not want to work with you. And when you can provide a company or a culture in which you're giving meaningful employment to people, like they love what they do. It's not like, oh my God, I got to get up on Monday and go to work. I have to go to work. It's like, I get to do this. When you can provide meaningful employment, like each person is doing work they absolutely love, when you are paying them well, ideally above market wage, and perhaps there's a performance component to that. You're building a culture around results as opposed to trading time for money. And when you can create this type of culture where people do work they love, they're part of a community or a culture of like-minded people who are high performers, who are driven to grow just like them, now all of a sudden you buy back a lot of your time. Because as the entrepreneur, as we talked about, when you are starting out, you're doing pretty much everything yourself. And you might have very high profit margins initially. But here's one thing I want you to remember, is at some point in your journey, you will trade more profit for freedom. So if you're a solo operation doing $500,000 a year and your profit, your net income, let's call it 90%, because you're just grinding away and you're not spending anything and it's all you, all of a sudden, how are you going to grow to $1 million? You're going to double that effort? It's impossible. Like, you can't grow beyond a certain point by yourself, especially if you're relying on time and effort and sweat equity. So you have to hire someone. Maybe it's an executive assistant. Maybe it's someone to support on the delivery side. Maybe it's an enrollment coach to help with sales. But in either case, you are paying them, which means that's going to take a little bit away of your profit. So instead of 90% profit, maybe it goes down to 70%. But think about it this way. Every little decrease in profit should be buying you back time. Now, obviously, you might say, okay, Yuri, well, what's the point of having a 0% profitable company? There is no point, right? You want to have very healthy margins. I think at a base level, net income or profit of 30% or higher is a good target. So what that means is if you make $1 million, 300,000 of that is before tax net income, that or higher. As soon as you get into the 10 to 15% range, you're one bad month away from going out of business. However, be okay. And I would encourage you, and again, this is a very philosophical, decision for you to make, is where do I want this? Like, what type of business do I want? I mean, in my case, I love building teams. I'm happy to trade profit instead of having a 90% profit company to have a company that might have half the profit, but I have so much time back in my life to spend with my kids, to spend doing what I love to do. And quite honestly, doing what I love to do is stuff like this. I love working. I work a lot. I don't have to, but I love to. And that's the beautiful part about building a team, is that it frees you up to spend more of your time doing what you love to do in the business as well as outside of the business. And God forbid, if you get sick for a couple days, I had stomach flu last week. I was out of commission for 4 days. When you're a solo operation, the business goes to shit. When you have a team around you, you are no longer the cog in the wheel. So those are the 3 things that I've noticed the most profitable businesses are able to do better, is they build the right skills. They don't waste time with logos and websites and business cards. It's a waste of time. They build skills on how to acquire clients and how to make money. They obsess about building great products or services. And then they level up their skill in terms of becoming a leader to build a great team around them to buy back their time and support the vision that they have for their business. So there you go. Hopefully that's useful for you. If you've enjoyed this, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and let me know what you like best about this video in the comments below. I appreciate you watching. All the best. I'll see you in the next video.